John Harbaugh specifically waited until this week to begin the interview process. He reportedly did some background calls, some discussions with several teams. Shefty has connected him to the Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals. Surprising that the Dolphins aren't on there, but maybe he doesn't need any background information on the Dolphins. I don't know, or maybe he's just not interested. And we were talking about this during the break. When the coach is not currently employed by any team, you can talk to the guy whenever you want. You can talk to the guy however you want. You can pick up the phone. You can text him. You can go get together with him. You can talk to him for as long. There's no limitation. The rules only apply when you're talking about coaches who are currently working for other teams, especially teams that are still in the playoffs. And there are restrictions on when in-person interviews can start. There are no rules for someone who isn't employed by an NFL team. So that's how Harbaugh could do it. And the Falcons announced yesterday, and these teams like to turn it into an engagement tool on social media now. The Falcons announced that they interviewed John Harbaugh. And then, and I don't know whether the Giants did this deliberately, Chris Mara, the brother of John Mara, the primary owner of the team and one of the longtime executives there, he told Ian O'Connor of The Athletic, well, I had lunch with John Harbaugh yesterday. I went to his house. So how about that, Arthur Blank? I'm in this game too. And that was kind of a surprise that came out there, and it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what comes next. It also makes me wonder where Joe Schoen was, because he's the one running the search. Why is Chris Mara going to have an informal lunch meeting with John Harbaugh? So two teams now where there's been some kind of face-to-face interaction, the Falcons and the Giants, Devin.
Yeah, and it's such a weird time of the year too, because you have all these teams that basically, like, you all have the same positional need. And like, you think about the draft and like when they go work guys out, and this is like, all right, well, where are we slotted? And like, there's no slot here. So there's no, like, if this guy's available, like whoever these teams want, like, they're available. And I'm always interested in like how they go about it. Like, all right, I had lunch instead of having a formal meeting. Is that because Harbaugh didn't want to do a formal meeting? You think you don't need to have a formal meeting? Because, like, we see when teams know who they want. We saw last year the New England Patriots brought in guys that didn't coach a year before for head coaching interviews. Like, they just were like, hey, man, give us the names so we can set up these interviews and we can just bang them all out so we could go hire Mike Vrabel. And then you see these other teams, like, they're trying to figure it out. Some are interviewing, some are having formal ones, some are having a bunch of them, some are only having a few. It's just so interesting because, like, the truth of the matter is it's the same candidates, and then we always are trying to figure out, well, who was in love with a candidate still coaching, because then they move their feet slow. They're trying to figure. It's just so interesting to me that, because if you love someone, I would think you're trying, like, the girl you want to take to the dance, you're trying to always show her she's number one. You're trying to court her the whole time. You're making sure she knows. And I'm like, man, like, if you want Harbaugh, what do you do to try to make him pick you now in this situation? And I never feel like you can figure out how these teams operate and how they're trying to go about getting their head coach.
Well, and he's got unprecedented leverage. An owner told me over the weekend that there has not been a coach in decades to have the kind of leverage that John Harbaugh has. And it does include the ability.
Wow.
And Bill Cowher tried this power play with the Jets 16 years ago. I'll take your job. You just got to fire Mike Tannenbaum as the GM. They refused to do it. And that's what made the alarms go off for me when I saw Chris Mara meeting directly with John Harbaugh. Joe Schoen has a job as the GM. He's in charge of the search, and he's not there. It just makes me wonder what Harbaugh may be asking for, because he's in a position to ask for $20 million plus per year. He's in a position to ask for, I want to hire my own GM. He's in a position to say, I want to have full control of the roster. He's in a rare position because you got all these different teams that want you. That's how it works. That's how business works for anything. I got a product I'm selling that everybody wants, so I'm setting the price for it. I'm setting the terms for it. This opportunity comes around one time in your life, and he's taking full advantage of it. DraftKings has John Harbaugh as the -150 favorite to be the Next head coach of the Giants, Kevin Stefanski, not far behind. There's Mike McCarthy, Jeff Hafley, Cliff Kingsbury. I think it's going to be Harbaugh or Stefanski. Unless Matt LaFleur doesn't return to Green Bay, then he would possibly be in the mix. It's going to be Harbaugh or Stefanski. And, frankly, I'm not trying to make anybody upset. I'm just trying to be authentic and real with my assessment of the situation. Joe Shane probably prefers Stefanski to Harbaugh, all things considered. And Harbaugh may prefer the Giants only if he gets to run the show there. I mean, that's always been part of the problem. When you keep the GM, when you're not doing a clean sweep, and the Giants have made it clear they're not doing a clean sweep, the GM is not going to go out and try to hire a coach who may directly or indirectly threaten the ongoing employment of the head coach. It's just not going to work that way. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And there are plenty of teams interested in John Harbaugh. There are no jobs filled yet. 8 are open. And who knows what else will happen, especially if Mike Tomlin chooses to walk away from Pittsburgh. That would move it to 9. Matt LaFleur's status still not completely resolved. That could move it to 10 out of 32. Let's take a break. When we return, 2 different opinions from 2 of the Eagles' biggest offensive stars when it comes to the future of offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. That's next on PFT Live.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code PUNTER when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.